Welcome back to Cooking with Elekai, also known as Big Boy Baking, or Kai's Kitchen Disaster, whatever you want to call it. Today might not be such of a disaster after all. It might be, I actually don't think this will be like too much overboard into the big boy baking, and I don't think it'll be too much of a disaster because this is the thing I have most experience with and is really basic to make. What is it? I didn't slip. Cake! We're making cake, guys. And chocolate cake? No, vanilla. We're making vanilla cake. I like vanilla. The fuck? Why do you always think it's gonna be chocolate? I want vanilla, bitch! I had red velvet if I could. What are the neighbors doing? Anyway. I'm sorry for cursing at you. I love you. You're appreciated. But I'm making vanilla. Yeah, but like my makeup is so much better today than it was last time. I mean, my hands are not the same color as my face, but we can just ignore that. And I would make them the same color as my face, but I'm cooking. I need to use my hands a lot. I need to wash my hands. I can't be go and make my hands all gray and wash them. I need to put my hat on. I got my hat wet because it fell in the sink while I was washing dishes. But it looks fine, it looks okay. Let's get started, shall we? Also, I'm sorry if, like, in these videos, sometimes you can't see what I'm doing. It's because when I, like, point the camera at the counter, when I, like, have the camera actually see the counter, like, I wish I could just have it, like, this, but then you can't see, like, the top of my face, you know? I'm not one of those cartoon characters that just doesn't have a head. Or doesn't have a top half of their body. Anyway, that's why I try my best to, like, pick stuff up and show it to you, but sometimes I forget. I really hope you enjoy my content. I enjoy making it. Let's get going. Butter, flour, baking powder, salt, sugar, eggs, vanilla extract, and whole milk. I don't know about other milk, but you know, whole milk is usually what's used for baking. Of course, you can probably use substitutes for that stuff, but I don't. I look good today. I really look good. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna start out. You preheat your onion. You preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, I don't know what it's in Celsius. These recipes never tell me, and I never bothered to look it up. I'm sorry. Anyway, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and well, in my case it's cooling down because I had the oven at 450 previously. And it says to butter 2 9-inch round cake pans and line them with parchment paper. Butter the parchment and dust the pans with flour. That's so much. So it says to butter the pans, line them with parchment paper, butter the parchment paper and dust it with flour. I'm gonna be real with ya. That is way more than you need. Just butter it. Butter and flour is okay. Like, butter and flour it, or just butter it, or just put parchment paper. I mean, with cake, I wouldn't suggest parchment paper. It's not usually used with cake. With cake, I usually suggest just butter it, or spray it. Spray it if you have cooking spray. Spray it works perfectly fine. But if you're like me and you don't own cooking spray, or you don't always like using cooking spray, just butter it. Butter and flour it. That's enough. You don't need to butter, parchment, butter, flour it. Food Network be crazy. That's where I'm getting most of these recipes from. It's because it's easy to read. And it doesn't take forever to get to the recipe. It's not people telling me their life story before telling me the recipe. I'm gonna whisk together, unless you don't have a whisk like me, 3 cups flour and some for the counter. I'm getting more and more charismatic and hyped up as I go throughout these videos. Unfortunately, this is the last one I'm making today, so you'd expect me to be tired of the last one. No, you'd be wrong. I was most tired at the first one. Now I've gotten used to doing this all day. So 1 tablespoon baking powder. Put your goddamn ingredients away. I didn't before, but I'm finally am now because this is the last thing I'm making today. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Anyway, you got your dried ingredients mixed in a bowl. It's half-assed mixing. Maybe switch this over to a different bowl because you're gonna need a different bowl for this, for like a smaller bowl. Because you're gonna be adding this mixture into the main mixture later. Then in a separate large bowl, which is where you're gonna be mixing all the shit, you beat in 2 sticks of butter. I'm just bad at following recipes. I thought I was really good at them a long time ago, but it turns out no, I always am really bad at following recipes. And you might want to soften these up in the microwave for a little bit, just to make mixing easier. Then you mix your nice soft butter with 1 1/4 cup sugar on a medium-high speed on your mixer, or just however you mix. If you don't have an electric mixer, just mix however you mix. Even takes longer. Recipe says this would take about, like with the electric mixer on medium-high, about 3 minutes until it's light and fluffy. And now with this beautiful butter sugar mixture, it says to lower the speed and beat in 4 eggs, large eggs. It's kind of looks like a weird batter omelet thing. Okay, that's a weird consistency. It's actually been a long time since I've made a cake from scratch instead of just using mixes from the store. I'm honestly really excited about this. I thought this cake one was going to be basic and boring, but no, I'm really excited about this one actually turning out well. It's not like the first time I've done it. It's not me ignoring ingredients and just kind of guessing how it goes. It's actually proper, more or less. So I'm actually like excited for it to turn out well. Now you're gonna mix in the 1 tablespoon vanilla extract. And it says to alternate between putting... Stop it. It says to alternate between putting in your flour mixture from earlier in batches and the 1 1/4 cups whole milk. This is so like you don't end up just spraying powder everywhere with the mixer. Strange, I'm actually doing the 1/4 instead of the full cup first. Ah, look at that good cake batter. Ah! Tastes good too. And now that your pans are floured, buttered, parchment papered, whatever you choose to do with it, now is when you pour your glorious, oh so tasty mixture into the pans. I only used half the pan of each because I wanted a thicker cake, not a really thin one, and I don't have circular cake pans, and the cake pans are really big, like brownie pans. So it's supposed to go in for about half an hour or so. Of course, check it, poke with a fork or toothpick, make sure there's nothing on it. We'll see how these turn out. In the meantime, I'll show you how to make the buttercream frosting. Okay, you're gonna start off softening 1/3 cup butter, or just a little over 6 tablespoons. And then you're gonna mix it with 3 cups powdered sugar. I don't even know if this is gonna be equivalent to 3 cups. I'm probably gonna just dump this whole thing in. Ah, shit. Because that's not enough powdered sugar, I'm gonna go ahead and, like, not even close to enough, not even a cup. I'm gonna go ahead and add regular sugar, unfortunately, even though I love powdered sugar, just to get the right amount of sugar and hope that it goes alright. I am genuinely disappointed that I don't have enough powdered sugar. And then you're gonna add 1½ teaspoons of vanilla and 1 to 2 teaspoons milk. Or just add teaspoons or a bit of milk until, as you're mixing it, you get to the right consistency that you want. Conveniently, your cakes are done and cooling while you're mixing this. Turns out this recipe wasn't quite perfect. My frosting is not fluffy and has that sugar grainy consistency. But it doesn't taste awful, and I'll deal with it. Alright, that is all. That's all for this time. Wait, need to frost the... If you are worried about me actually being a competent cook for once and making something good, well, worry no longer, because this is Cooking with Elekai. This is big boy cooking. This is Kai's kitchen disaster. Look at this cake. Of course, I took it out too soon, so it fell apart when I was taking it out of the pan, and I already told you about the frosting. This is a cake. What am I doing with my life? I spent all day just disappointing bakers. I spent all day disappointing every baker who's ever lived. I spent all day just slapping the ass of the cooking community and hitting the thigh. I have spent this entire day making nothing but shit. I mean, the snickerdoodles are actually pretty good, especially for my first time making them. The cake will actually be alright. It's mainly just the frosting, and it looks bad. However, those pretzels were trashed. Anyway, that's all for this time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this mess of a man, click the like button. If you have something to say about my idiocy, or how I disappointed the culinary world, comment down below. And if you want to see more of this shit show, please subscribe. This is my life now. And all I want is for this to be more of my life, more of my everyday. Anyway, that's all. I hope everyone has a good day. Hope your day's a little better than it was before. See ya.